Let's move on to AFL football, which is one of our favourite topics. I'm not sure about you, Freya. Are you at AFL?
Actually, I was born in Hawthorn and grew up going for the Hawks. Can't say I've really followed it since I left Hawthorn at the age of 7, but now I'm right into it.
Well, I can tell you Hawthorn have had a pretty good couple of decades, but who's not having a great run at it is the ATO Commissioner, Rob Heffernan. He sends out a weekly email to the 20,000 or so staff that he has under him, and the email is mostly news, but there's a little bit of personal banter, quite a bit about football because he is a Collingwood supporter. Well, knowing that, someone sent him an AI-generated meme of a Collingwood supporter. Let's see what it looks like there. You've got your Collingwood fan. They're typically known as tattooed, toothless ferals, Collingwood supporters. And true to type, there's the Collingwood fan AI doll. You've got the big beer gut. You've got the false teeth ready to be put in. You've got the tattoo and you've got the French fries, of course. Well, someone sent him this meme as a bit of a joke. And he replied in his weekly email that he'd received that. It was a bit funny. And he wrote, "Not a bad likeness, I must say." Now, bear in mind, Rob Heffernan is a Collingwood supporter himself. But would you believe it? One of the staff at the ATO was very upset with stereotyping of Collingwood supporters and made an official complaint. Not only that, but an anonymous Collingwood supporter went onto the ATO website and used their right to know form to demand that the emails be publicly released so people could see what the Commissioner of the ATO was saying about supporters of the
Sorry, James, I have to stop you there. I have to stop you right there. I have to stop you right there. Sorry, you're saying that a Collingwood supporter went on and demanded that the information be released. Are you telling me that Collingwood fans have learned how to read and write?
The spelling apparently was atrocious, but yes, that's what happened. Probably used ChatGPT to write.
Oh God, this is like Planet of the Apes. They're going to rise up and enslave us.
Can you believe, though, that someone would get offended by this? Especially when Heffernan himself is a Collingwood supporter. He's laughing at himself, not everybody else.
Exactly. That's what makes this situation so absurd. But it's not just the 1 out of 20,000 ATO staff that complained. Also, a journalist from The Guardian who helped write up this story said the ubiquitous loathing of the Magpies is rooted in century-old tropes of the working class, and it persists despite neither the club nor its suburb today reflecting their humble origins.
That's a journo who's never been to the football when Collingwood are playing.
Never. She's like, what's the AFL?
Look, we all know that Collingwood has become a hipster paradise, mate. We all know. That's okay. We know that. We just don't care. Mate, imagine that. So, but also, this is the incredible thing about that statement from Antoine is that is also the most outrageously pretentious, anti-working class, snide attitude that you can possibly have. So they're not saying, "Oh no, it's terrible that it's terrible that you're all picking on the working class." And of course, the people who actually are working class are not the ones being offended. But it's the pretentious snobs like this who don't say, "Oh no, leave the working class alone," or "Some of my best friends are working class." They say, "Oh no, we're not working class anymore. It's okay. We've gentrified. We're not like that anymore." So they're the ones sort of holding their nose and running a million miles away from the trope as well, and it is just so incredibly nauseating. As I said on the show last night, incidentally, when we were talking about Carlton players who are just as obnoxious, they're just Collingwood players with money and a few extra teeth. Taking the piss out of your rival footy team is like how you would have to write for The Guardian to get offended by that. Like, it is just impossible to think how you would have to, imagine, I think the ATO, didn't they recently have a thing where they finish at 4:53 instead of 5 o'clock? And I think that was one of the edicts, and they got very progressive, inclusive bathrooms and everything. But again, imagine being so bereft of real problems in your life. Imagine being so humorless, so up yourself, so pretentious that you could actually take the time out of your day. Maybe it's those extra 7 minutes they have per day between 4:53 and 5 p.m. and go online and write a complaint about an AI-generated picture of a toy that doesn't exist. And you wonder why people think that maybe, just maybe, Canberra bureaucrats aren't the hardest working people in the world. Why do you think that might be? Wait till the next round of redundancies come along. That's where we should have the full disclosure. Who filed the complaint?
Yeah.
Right, there you go.
The other part of this, of course, is if you're a Collingwood supporter, they're doing very, very well at the moment and have done for a couple of years. So you've got no reason to complain.
That's right.
All.
And you can find that out by watching the pictures and everything. You don't even have to read about it.
Exactly.